you have to look at, the rapidly evolving transportation phase. You might have autonomous vehicles coming up. They are likely to come, or they're already being, they're already being experimented upon in other countries. India is not going to fall far behind, isn't it?
Unquestionable.
Today, use our own private vehicle. Tomorrow morning, to just utilize it for transport. So that is permissible today by a person who owns a car without going in and then taking another license for transport, when you can put your, like in Rapido also. So in such situation where you have permitted usage, flip-flop both of them, in such cases also it becomes very necessary to have, to permit a license, general license, to be utilized for commercial without seamlessly.
Government may also have to, government may also have to look at, this. How many licensees do you have in the country who are capable of meeting the strict dichotomy which the insurance companies have urged? Suppose we put them out. Of course, one impact is a social impact on these drivers. But more than that, how many will you be left with? Will you have that supply today in the country?
I quite see that it has to be, yeah.
Like the Chief Justice was, you are looking at people having valid license or not valid license. You are looking at a scenario in future where, forget about a license, you don't have to have a person holding a license to drive the car. Driverless cars are coming.
That's true.
Right? So you don't have to have a man. Forget about a man having a license.
Well, one take stock of all these development that may take place.
All these aspects will come in.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Nothing. I was also looking at, and therefore this is really a matter. We feel that it's for the government to really look at it holistically. You see, because you of course have the interests of the insurance companies. You have the interests of road safety, but you also have to balance the interests of people who may be shut out of their work, that livelihood. Then the increase in the demand with the rapidly evolving transport sector. So
the strength of the legislature to deliberate upon this issue,
which is not available to us.
You must
not available to us.
No, I understand that. That's why my first meeting was, I asked several questions which I didn't have ready answers. I mean, therefore we had to engage more in great depth about all these aspects.
Yesterday, in fact, many of the lawyers are not here. Of course, solicitor was here. Yesterday, when we referred the 124A sedition issue to Constitution Bench, we were also impressed, of course, by both your submissions that, look, legislature is deliberating. As you recall in our conversation yesterday, we felt that, look, you have to deal with the constitutional issue because the prosecutions under the existing law will have to be dealt with. That's why but this is a pure statutory issue. So, and this statutory issue combined with intense issues of social policy, social implications, and government may, for instance, settle for a less than legal solution only to protect people whose livelihoods are involved. You see, government does that all the time. You don't go by strict legality because you're also of the view that people are dependent on these.
So all the time,
overlaying. The easiest thing for us to, in that sense, is to interpret the law and then come to the conclusion possibly that Dewangan was wrongly decided because you didn't look at certain provision. But it's not. It's not that simple. The impact of it would be so. We are worried about the impact of that finding. On the sector, the economy.
I didn't intend to go beyond this very minimal.
So how should we go about it? I mean, would you like to just maybe have a chat with the solicitor, and both of you, if you feel that government should, we'll hear you in a minute, that government would review the entirety of the position and then take an appropriate call and inform the court. If you still feel, that, look, Dewangan is wrong, we have assessed the whole impact on the social sector.
I don't think
the road safety. No, we'll not push you right now, not at all. It would not be fair because this is something which will have to be done at a policy level in the government. And if you still tell us that, no, look, decide the question of law because we have reviewed it, and according to us, the impact of a wrong position in law will far outweigh the dangers of setting the law straight, and we will go by the present position of law. Then, of course, we'll then hear you also on the merits of the legal position, and we'll hear all the people who are on the other side. But if you tell us that, look, we'll look at everything dispassionately and then evaluate where should we.
Even thereafter this question.
Because the insurance companies also state, and
Prospectively
many of
looking
them
at
are
the
state-run
judgment and
insurance
whatever,
companies.
that question may still arise.
Before the learned attorney had a meeting with the officials, I also had a meeting with the officials. And at the official level, my lord, they also agree that it needs a relook.
A relook.
They are also, my lord, responsible, and they say that needs a relook. But as Lord, a little more deliberation before assuring your lordships or before making any commitment, my lord, would be needed.
One way which we can do is that we can just presently, suppose if we rise for about 15 minutes to a half an hour, maybe you can talk to the secretary and the minister. And if you can give us a small statement, we can take it on the record, which does not bind you, because when you say you're having a relook, it doesn't mean you're changing the law. You may have a relook and say, no, we go by the present law. We don't want to change it. So various options are open to you, and those options are absolutely not open to us as a court. So, the other way of doing it is that we keep it for tomorrow. They can tell us.
But we can try and
You come back and tell us tomorrow.
the difficulty would be, my lord, just practical difficulty. The secretary, my lord, will be able to talk to in all probability. But cabinet is going on, my lord, and cabinet generally is a very deliberative process.
Right.
Takes 3 to 4 hours, my lord. Everyone participates. So minister may not be approachable right now. But we can respond, my lord, by tomorrow.
Or we can say we can pass a short order right now, saying that, we had requested the Attorney General to assist us on this. The Attorney General has said that given us a note which says that the notifications were not an acceptance by the government, but in implementation of the government, because you're bound under Article 141, that at the same time, we have requested the government to take a holistic view of the matter. And because apart from the fact that, the interpretation of law is involved, there may be various other issues of the social impact if the position of the position as it obtains in Mukund Dewangan is reversed and is disturbed after having held the field for 6 years. And there are various considerations which obviously are of a policy nature which have to be looked into by the government. Namely, one, the interest of having people who are duly qualified in the interest of road safety and the public interest of other users of roads and highways.
Very true.
Two, at the same time, looking at the evolving nature of the transport sector, what would be in the best interest of the nation going forward. And three, balancing the social impact of any change in the position of law which has been laid down in Dewangan. And therefore, we would very much appreciate if the government reflects on all these issues, which are of a policy nature which fall within the domain of the government and not really the court, and apprise us of what way forward the government would intend to do. So we will not take a call right now, but we'll just flag these issues so that you can go to the government and to the cabinet with our short order, which might.
I think that would be in order. That would be in order.
If we are silent completely, government and the cabinet may say that what is it that is weighing with the Supreme Court? What are we to do actually right now? So we will not say whether Dewangan is right or wrong. We'll not give our mind on that at all, because that's a small thing. The legality is a small thing. We are worried about the.
That's how I looked at it primarily. That because quite a few issues which were not present in the mind of the government when they issued the notification.
Right. And now learned solicitor also says that perhaps at the official level there is some feeling that
they also will say that it needs a.
And the sector is evolving so much.
Because
now having, you have these crisscross highways across the country now. I mean, we need to look at it. Perhaps the position as it obtained when the law was enacted is radically different now.
Yes. And there was a committee also, my lord. We went through the committee's report, but nothing much, my lord, turned out which can assist your lordship. It will have to be a holistic, fresh look. You were told by the officers that it needs a relook. Time. Our freedom of speech is curtailed.